September 1945. The war is over, but there are no victory parades. London is a radioactive crater. Moscow is silent. Washington, D.C. is a smoldering ruin. This wasn't our reality, but it almost was. Hitler's scientists were not just close to the atomic bomb, they were ahead of us, and the story of how we stopped them doesn't involve a daring raid or a secret agent. It involved a single, catastrophic mistake, and the one physicist who was willing to betray everything to save the world. When most people think of the atomic bomb, they think of Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project, a massive $2 billion American effort. What they don't know is that Germany had a 2-year head start. 1938. German scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann discover nuclear fission. They split the atom first. 1939. Germany begins its uranium program, the Uranverein, or Uranium Club. 1940. They seized the world's largest supply of uranium ore from a mine in Belgium. They had the brains, they had the blueprints, they had the fuel. So what went wrong? The answer is a story of two men. One, a brilliant physicist who made the worst calculation of all time. The other, a man faced with an impossible choice: betray his country or watch it unleash hell on Earth. The leader of the Nazi bomb project was a physicist named Werner Heisenberg, one of the greatest minds of the 20th century. But in 1942, he made an error so colossal it may have saved millions of lives. To build a bomb, you need to create a critical mass of uranium. Heisenberg was tasked with calculating this amount, and he got it wrong. Tragically wrong. He overestimated the amount needed by a factor of 10, maybe 1,000. He thought he needed tons of uranium, when in reality, he only needed kilograms. This miscalculation convinced the Nazi high command that an atomic bomb was impossible to build before the war's end. They shifted resources to rockets instead. But what if he hadn't miscalculated? This is where our second man comes in. Niels Bohr, a Danish physicist and mentor to Heisenberg. In 1941, Heisenberg traveled to Copenhagen to meet him. The conversation they had in that room is one of history's greatest mysteries. Did Heisenberg, secretly horrified by what he was creating, come to ask for Bohr's help in sabotaging the project from within? Or was he there to gloat, to recruit him? We may never know for sure, but what we do know is this: that meeting convinced the Allies that the Nazi bomb was a terrifying reality. It lit a fire under the Manhattan Project. It was the ultimate wake-up call. But what if the miscalculation never happened? Or what if another scientist had double-checked the math? Historians agree. If the Nazis had thrown their full industrial might behind the bomb starting in 1942, they could have had a working weapon by late 1944 or early 1945. Imagine it. D-Day fails. The Allies are pushed back into the sea. With conventional forces stalled, Hitler unveils his Wunderwaffe, his wonder weapon. A single atomic bomb is loaded onto a specially designed German submarine, or perhaps a V-2 rocket. Its target? Not a military base, a city, a demonstration of ultimate power to force a negotiated peace on his terms. The world we know today would not exist. The Cold War wouldn't have been between the US and USSR, but between a Nazi-controlled Europe and a terrified, isolated United States. This was the future we narrowly avoided. So, did a mathematical error save the world? Or did a physicist's conscience? The truth is, it was probably both. A combination of human error and silent, secret resistance. It's a chilling reminder that the course of history does not always turn on giant battles or famous speeches. Sometimes it turns on a decimal point in a notebook, and a conversation in a dark room between two of the smartest men alive, who knew the terrifying power they held in their hands. What other moments in history balanced on a knife's edge? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see another timeline we narrowly avoided, watch this video next on What If the Cold War Had Gone Hot. It will freeze your blood Smash that like button if you learned something today, and subscribe to see which world we explore next. Thanks for watching.